There was a small village named Fairfield, surrounded by a vast and dark forest. This forest was not only a source of fear for the villagers, but anyone who entered it never returned. It's said that many years ago, this forest swallowed an entire empire and its people were lost in the deep corners of the forest. No one knew where they went, but their spirits lived within the forest. Fairfield Village was peaceful, but the fear of the forest always overshadowed that peace. Many generations had passed, yet the fear remained. The truth about the forest may never be known. James, a 14-year-old brave boy, lived in the village with his sister Sarah. His heart was drawn to the forest. His mother, Emily, always warned him to stay away, telling him that the forest was dangerous. So, Emily, worried, said to James, "You don't understand what's in that forest. Your father went there and never came back. Stay away from it." James confidently replied, "Mom, I can't believe that. There's something in that forest. It's calling me. I know there's some truth hidden there. I want to find it, and maybe that's the key to solving our village's troubles." One day, Sarah disappears. The whole village is troubled, and a search begins. Something happened to Mira in the forest, so he decides to enter the forest, thinking it holds the answer. The next morning, James tells his mother, "Mom, I have to go find Sarah. She's in the forest, I'm sure of it. I have to bring her back." At night, James quietly sneaks out of the house. In his hand, he carries an old map his father had given him. He begins his journey through the forest. As soon as he steps into the forest, the air feels cold and strange. James shivers and says, "What is this? This forest is making me feel something else." The atmosphere in the forest is dense and mysterious. Suddenly, James hears a laugh in the distance, one that sounds like Sarah's. James, excited and surprised, calls out, "Sarah, is that you?" Following the sound, James enters the deeper parts of the forest, where he meets a mysterious and beautiful woman who introduces herself as Susan. She promises to guide him to his sister Sarah, but warns him that the forest deceives its visitors. Susan says in a deep tone, "What you see is not the truth. Every path in this forest is shaped by your fears and desires. You might lose your way." James confidently replies, "I'm not afraid. I need to bring Sarah back." Susan leads him down a mysterious path, where James faces his first challenge, the illusion of the forest, showing him his deepest fears, that he is lost and wandering forever in the forest. James, with Susan, reaches an ancient ruin, which was once part of a great empire. The ruins and statues tell him that this was the empire the forest once consumed. The king of this empire, now a dark figure, is trapped in the forest. James, astonished, says, "What is this?" "This is the lost empire, the one I've always heard about." Susan replies, "Yes, this is the place. The people and the king are trapped here due to a magical power. The king made a dangerous deal to save his empire, and now his soul is bound in this forest." As James and Susan move deeper into the forest, James finds Sarah, but she's not the same. Her eyes are glowing, and she has taken on a magical form. James, shocked, says, "Sarah, what's happened to you?" Sarah gently replies, "James, don't worry. The forest has given me its power. I have to protect it now." James says, "No, I'll take you home." Sarah responds, "You don't understand. If you want to save me, you'll have to find a way to change this. But you'll have to make a great sacrifice." James also meets his father, who reveals that he has been trapped in the forest for years. James, surprised, says, "Dad, are you alive?" His father, emotional, replies, "Yes, son, I've been trapped here for years. Our souls can never be free from this forest." James reassures his father, "Don't worry, Dad. I'll free all of you from this forest." In the heart of the forest, James faces the cursed king, who has transformed into a dark and terrifying figure. The king tells James that he must become the new guardian of the forest. The forest king says, "Anyone who enters this forest never leaves. Their souls are trapped forever in the heart of this forest." James responds, "I'll free everyone from this forest, even if it costs me my life." In the end, James becomes the new guardian of the forest. His soul merges with the forest, and he now protects it. James and Sarah both become part of the forest's magic. James's struggle is not only to save his sister, but also to fight against the chains of the forest, trying to save himself in the process. As James enters the dark heart of the forest, he finds a mysterious book. It contains the truth about the forest. The forest uses its power to trap people, confusing them, and slowly pulling them towards their fears and desires. This isn't just an external battle. It's an internal one where each person must confront their own fears and weaknesses. James, reading the book, realizes that the forest can't be defeated with physical strength alone. He has to understand that, to free not only himself and his sister Sarah, but also all the trapped souls in the forest, he must fight a deeper internal battle. James, now understanding the book's deeper secrets, learns that the forest's power is contained in a magical black tree, which must be destroyed. This tree is the source of the forest's souls and cursed energy. Nearby, the kings and other souls are trapped. James meditates deeply and follows the book's teachings. He focuses all his mental strength, courage, and love, knowing that the greatest weapon against the forest is to reject fear and anxiety. This is a mental battle. As he meditates in peace, the deep, mysterious voices of the forest surround him. The forest voices, eerie and threatening, say, "You'll never get out of here, James. You're bringing your own end." James responds confidently, "I've never run from fear, and I won't today. I've come to destroy your power. All the pain you've caused ends now." James feels his inner strength grow, pushing away his fears and past traumas. Now he's inspiring the trapped souls to walk with him, defeating the dark magic of the forest. Finally, James reaches the black tree, the darkest part of the forest. It's a giant, black, thorny tree, its branches stretching up to the sky. Its roots spread across the ground, as if trying to consume the world. James takes a deep breath and gathers all his strength. He knows that to destroy it, he'll need to use all his inner power. James says to himself, "This tree isn't just a tree, it's the heart of the forest. I have to destroy it to free every soul." As he touches the roots, he channels his inner power into the tree. He feels the dark energy inside it awakening. He quickly meets that power with his positive energy, and a magical celestial light surrounds the tree. The Forest King, shouting from a distance, says, "You don't understand, James. I was once a hero too. Let me save myself." But James isn't weak anymore. His soul is determined, and he starts breaking the tree with his power. As his energy flows into the tree, the whole forest shakes. The roots tremble, and the black branches begin to snap. As the black tree is destroyed, a strange calm fills the forest. The darkness and fear that once consumed every corner of the forest vanish. Slowly, the trapped souls appear, those who were once lost in the forest, now free. Sarah, who had been magically trapped, is completely freed. Her eyes now shine with hope as she runs toward her brother. James's father is also freed from the forest. Now James, Sarah, and their father are all free. James smiles and says to his sister, "We did this together, Sarah. Now we have to take everyone back home." As James, Sarah, and their father leave the heart of the forest, they see the path leading to Fairfield Village is clear. There's no more danger to the village. They know that the souls who escaped the forest will never be affected by its curse again. James, Sarah, and their father return to their village, where the entire village welcomes them. Emily, James's mother, is overjoyed to see them alive. A wave of happiness spreads through the village. Fairfield is now a peaceful place. The power of the forest is gone, and what James and Sarah did has become a symbol of new hope and trust in the village.